this is Megan.
I thought you were going to do it, so I stopped, and then you stopped too. So
Let's try not to interrupt.
Are you going to do it?
I'll do it. Hey, this is Megan.
And Sue,
The Spine Breakers. And today we are doing another If You Gotta Read It challenge. Yeah, we're trying to get caught up.
Yeah, I think this is challenge 7.
I think so.
Yeah, we're doing our cover buys.
Yes, and while we do our cover buys, we're gonna drink this beer.
Daisy Glaze.
Yum.
And it's a New England IPA from Heavy Riff Brewing, which I don't think we've drank this brewery on the channel before.
I don't think so.
But they're from St. Louis. I have nails on.
Do you want me to get it?
I got it.
Oh,
I think.
oh.
I just don't want to pop my nail
I know,
off.
I was nervous for you. Okay.
I got it.
You got it.
I got it!
Yeah, victorious. This is gonna
And
be
these
the
aren't
best
even that
tasting
long.
beer
I don't
ever.
know how people with this super long
I
ones.
can't do it. I'm not coordinated enough. One of our friends always has like beautiful but like super long pointy nails, and I don't know how she functions.
Yeah. I really like this beer though. I've had one before, and I think it's a really good IPA. I like it. It's like my kind of IPA. It's like kind of fruity. It says it has huge citrus and tropical aroma with hints of passion fruit and sweet orange peel. And I like it.
I like it too. I tasted yours the other night and it was really good.
All right, so would you like to talk about your cover buy?
I would. So I bought this book at a library sale, I think. And it really was a cover buy because I like the font and I like the moon phases on the front. But it's When We Were Animals by Joshua Gaylord. And this is a weird coming of age tale, kind of. So this woman grew up in a village, like a really small, like kind of remote village, where all of the teenagers, like once they hit puberty, they would do what they called going breech. And that would just mean like when the moon was full, they would become like kind of feral. So they would run around, they would fight with each other, have sex with each other, just go hog wild. And then once they became adults, they stopped. They didn't feel the need to do it anymore. And so
They just got it all out of their system.
Just did it all and went hard, you know, and as like a 15-year-old, because why not? But this is like kind of her as an adult reflecting back on that time and trying to figure out like, because I'm not going to ruin the story, but she's a little bit different than some of the other folks in her town. And so she's trying to figure out like, who is she now? And like, can she reconcile the things that she did then with who she is now? And yeah, it's kind of like a gothic coming of age story. It's interesting. I think I gave it 3 stars. I liked it. It was not spectacular, but it was fine. So, not really selling it, but it was okay. I liked it.
So the book that I read was Praise Song for the Widow by Paule Marshall. Paule Marshall is a woman, but I looked it up and that's how you say her name.
Oh.
But there she is. But this was like a true cover buy because there's nothing on this book to indicate what it's about. And I also bought this at a library sale and I just thought the cover looked really cool.
It does.
And interesting. But yeah, and you know, the back is just a picture of the author, and then on the inside it just has like blurbs about, you know, from people who have read the book.
But no synopsis.
So I had absolutely no idea what this was about. But turns out it's about a woman. They call her middle-aged in the book, or no, I don't think they call her that in the book, but like in descriptions I read online, they always call her middle-aged, but I'm pretty sure they said in the book that she was in her 60s, which I feel like is past middle-aged.
I feel like it's a little bit past middle-aged.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of people who live to be 120. But, so she's on a cruise, like a Caribbean cruise, with 2 of her friends, and she's like struck with this urge to leave. She's like, I gotta get off this boat. and kind of strange things are happening. She's kind of having visions, and it's a little bit of like
Ooh,
strangeness
spooky.
going on. So she gets off at the next stop, which I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, is Granada, and comes across this little shop, a local shop. And she goes inside. It's not open, but this old man runs it. He tells her about this sort of, I forget what exactly they call it in the book, but it's kind of like a festival or a carnival type of thing, where all the people of this island go and have this like festival where they kind of like honor their ancestors. And so he talks her into coming along for that, and she goes to that, and it kind of like she gets in touch with her own roots. There was a quote that I liked from it, but now I don't know if I could find it. I should have marked it. But I talked about this in our wrap up.
Oh, I remember that.
And I read that quote then.
Yeah, I remember that.
But it was basically her talking about how, you know, the people here only have like vague knowledge of their actual ancestry, but they still come together and celebrate it.
So she kind of like found a way to connect with her own roots and heritage.
Yeah.
Even though maybe she doesn't know exactly what that is.
Yeah. And yeah, I thought it was really good. I had never heard of Paule Marshall before this, but she published a few books in like the 60s, maybe the 70s as well. Well, this one says copyright 83, so I guess maybe more like 70s and 80s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was really like, I think, well known and well respected at the time, but I don't really hear people talk about her now.
No, I haven't.
Maybe I'm just not listening to the right people, I don't know. But I did really like this, so I would recommend this book. I will keep my eye out for her other books. I think her most popular one might be Brown Girl Brownstones, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I liked this. I think I gave it 4 stars.
So yeah, overall, like, I always like it when a cover by turns into like a decent read, you know, because it sucks when something has like a nice, like, pretty cover, and you're like, yeah, and then you read it and you're like, well, that was garbage.
Yeah, and I'm always like especially proud of myself if I pick something at a library sale.
Yep.
Because like chances are I probably got this on like dollar bag day.
Yeah.
And like this was a really good buy.
Right.
Obviously, like it was a good book. And the same for like The Song of the Forest by Colin McKay.
Oh yeah, that was.
That was a library sale pick that it wasn't a purely cover buy because it did have a description on it. And it sounded cool, so I got it.
Right.
But I picked it up because of the cover.
Yeah, I mean, it is like, it's a beautiful looking book, but then it's also like a beautiful read too, which is nice. But yeah, it's always nice when you like, because we typically will go to the library sale on like the cheap days. So we go on like half price day or dollar bag day, and then you just kind of load up on, well, we used to load up on stuff. Now we're a little bit more
discerning. Now we're more
conservative
because
we're older and
we went a
wiser.
little overboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to be having one in September, but they canceled the spring sale here because of
the
COVID.
big Rona. Yeah.
But they rescheduled it to September. I think normally they have the fall sale in October.
I think so.
If I'm recalling correctly.
I think you're right.
So as of right now, that's still on, but we'll see. I'm sure they'll, you know, make everyone mask it up. Especially like it makes me nervous because all the library volunteers are always like elderly people. So those were our cover by reads. Not bad. Mine was good. Yours was
mine was decent.
All right.
Like I didn't. The thing about mine, I'm trying to think of like why it was only decent. Like
you can't remember it was like that unremarkable.
Well, I remember the book really well. Like I remember the events of the book really well, but I'm trying to like think. I feel like part of it is just like. And normally I don't care like if things aren't explained, but like it never says why they go breach. And like why only this village and like not the neighboring village. Like there's a village like near-ish to them and like they don't do it. So like why just this village? And then also like they all just kind of grow up and like I think a lot of them stay there, and I'm like, so you just kind of like cuz they do
so it's not like a religious thing? Or?
No, it's just a rando thing that happens. Like it's not a cult thing. It's not like a weird, just like a rando thing that happens. And like also a little bit uncomfortable because like they have sex with each other.
And they're like
they're teenagers, and so and at one point, like at a couple points, it describes not just one point, a couple points, naked female teenagers. This is written by a dude. Also, I don't want to hear about children. Like I don't want to hear about naked children. So, like, I mean, I feel like those were kind of the things that I was like,
He doesn't describe naked teenage boys, only girls.
He kind of does describe naked boys, but I don't think he does in quite the detail or frequency that he does the girls, but I could be wrong. It's been a minute since I read. But he describes like their pubic hair and shit. And like at one point I think he compares like the difference between one naked teenage girl and the other, and it was weird.
Does it just seem unnecessary?
Yeah, like I mean we get it. They're naked and they're like having sex with each other. Like you don't have to like describe their bush to me. Like I don't want to hear about she's a 15-year-old child. Like
right.
I don't care about that. So like I thought the concept was really interesting. I think that was my issue with it. Like now that I'm talking about it, I think I'm coming to some conclusions. I think that my issue was that the concept was really interesting and the execution was just kind of meh. You know? And then also like her as an adult, I'm like her describing like what she was going, like remembering what she was dealing with and like trying to come to terms with it as an adult was kind of pointless to me. I was like, I don't know, it felt like maybe it was supposed to be something deep or cathartic and it just didn't hit that mark. So I think it fell short of what it could have been conceptually. I think that's what my issue is, now that I've talked it through.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
If you guys have finished this challenge, let us know what you picked and what you thought of it. Was it a cover by you ended up being proud of, like
Sue? Yeah. Or was it one that you are maybe not so happy with?
Yeah. Were you like, I wasted money on this?
Yeah. Let us know. And if you have done a video, if you're doing the challenge and you're doing videos, let us know.
Please let us know.
We would like to go watch them, so.
Yeah. I keep meaning to like post more on other social media about it, but
I'm real hit or miss on social media, and it's usually just either when I'm drunk or feeling quippy.
I post the most on Instagram, for sure. I like Instagram. Everything else, I could take or leave.
Yeah, I think I probably post the most on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because What is that?
Is it next door?
Oh.
Or a ghost? I wonder if it was someone's like stereo with them.
Maybe. It sounded like weird though. It didn't sound scary.
It was kind of weird. Anyway, we just freaked ourselves out there for a second.
I got real nervous for a second. I was like...
Well, it did kind of sound like someone knocking.
It sounded like someone walking on my roof, kind of.
Yeah, after that
brief tangent
about social media that has happened.
Maybe it was a ghost.
But
and the ghost was like, y'all tangent too much. Shut up.
Back to the point. Yeah, but I don't know why I said that weird. I will probably try to post my future reads on Instagram and post like little reviews. I was kind of doing that during like Fuckathon and Tome Infinition. I was like posting little reviews just of the books that I had physical copies of though, because I guess I could just post like a screenshot of.
Yeah, you could always or download a picture of the cover.
Yeah. But I was doing that for a while and I just kind of fell off. I'm also doing like an Instagram challenge thing this month, so I've been posting those instead. But anyway, follow me on Instagram.
I probably need to do a better job of posting on Instagram, but you know,
but whatever.
Our
info
stuff is
below.
our info is in the box, whatever that's called. The thing.
Yeah. So let's sign off before we keep rambling.
Let's do. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you later.
We got totally awkward. Like, we realized we were rambling, and then as soon as that happened, we were both just like, awkward.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Is what I like started to say and then said later, and it was weird. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.